am such a creature of habit, and I take comfort from routine, so I don't tend to deviate from the
29-year-old
same thing.
Olympic, World, European and Commonwealth medalist Sarah Quinn, great hurdler, the 21-year-old.
Quinn now is going to look like she might be powering here. Scott's going to try to put under pressure. Look at Galway City Harriers on the move as well.
Strong Irish teammates, including Patience Jumping Gula earlier on, who didn't qualify for this final.
There you are.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, cool. How are you?
You can hear me?
I can hear you indeed. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Not too bad.
Yeah, and how's training
Sunday's always
going?
kind of a nice day, so good. Actually, really well. Yeah. It's been going well the last couple of weeks, so really excited to get a few races in now.
Do you not train on Sunday?
Usually I do, but it's we're just coming to the end of a down week, so we have this day off. So
Okay.
it's quite nice.
And in terms of competitions, I've heard there's a few competitions that got cancelled. Like I was planning on doing the Leinster that was supposed to be happen end of July, but that got. I think they only allow 200 people ish. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you're not in Leinster. You are in Munster.
I'm in Connacht.
Yeah. And is that happening?
Are the Leinsters happening, or is Connacht happening?
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure, to be honest. I haven't really heard anything, but I don't actually know. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm racing in Wine next week, and then I think after that my next solid plan would be probably the senior championships, and that's kind of all I have set in stone, and then the rest are they're just going to happen, you know.
So you're planning on breaking that 11.7, is it? Is that your PB?
That's my PB, 11.78 over 100, and then my PB over hurdles is 13.47. So yeah, hopefully now we'll put a few good times down. But sure, look, like everyone's coming out of lockdown and different circumstances, so we'll see. Do
you know, Sarah? I have to be honest with you. The first time I saw you was last on the indoor, because I'm relatively new to the sport.
Okay.
So the first time I saw you was in I think the under 23 indoor championship, and I just have to be honest, like you're a completely different person the way I thought you were.
Oh really?
No. In that way, I'm not being disrespectful or anything like that. But
yeah.
I just, when you see someone, you're like, and I understand you're in competition. You are very, like, everyone is focused on their race and whatnot. And I remember seeing you warming up, and you just have the serious face ever. I'm like, I don't want to be near that person. But I was
that's so funny.
I was intimidated a little bit because
really?
Then. Again, not in a bad way, but then you went and you went on and won the 60-meter race. So then that's just, I was like, "Jeez, that girl, I don't know what's going on in his head." So yeah, and then funny thing. So I was talking to what's her name, Ellie O'Toole.
Love Ellie.
Yeah, you train with her? You know her.
Yeah. Ellie trains us from Galway.
Yeah, so every time I do a podcast with someone, I try to do as much research as I can from her. Like, even with David or I don't know, some other people. Like, I try to call their friends and tell me a little bit about them stuff. And then Ellie was just like, again, as we're talking, you seem a genuine kind of person. So like completely different to what I had in mind anyway. But I don't know where that come from anyway. But I don't know what do you think? Do you think, like, in terms of first impression, do you ever look at someone yourself and you'd be like, you don't want to talk to that person, like, just
I think
leave
absolutely, like, when you see someone on race day, that's definitely not the day to meet them for the first time, because number one, they're probably crippled with nerves or something, right. And then number two, they probably aren't paying attention to anything outside of their own race, getting in their own zone, and they're probably nothing like what they actually are in real life when they don't have the pressure of a race coming up, or whatever. So yeah, that's probably
So when is a good time to meet someone? Like, No, because I'd say even after a race, there might be, let's say, if they didn't get the medal or they didn't get the podium, that would actually even worse. That's a very bad time to talk to someone. Yeah. So
maybe in training, I'd say.
Why not? Funny. Yeah. But actually, I've been seeing you on your Instagram. You've been in terms of sunrise and sunset. You into that, are you? You're that kind of person.
I am. I actually. So over lockdown, myself and my neighbour Ellen, we've kind of gotten into going down, and just any evening we think there's going to be a nice sunset, we just hop in the car and go down to the lake. And the lake is only about a 5-minute drive away from my house, so we just hop in the car and go down whenever we think there's going to be a nice sunset. Something to do, I suppose, in the evening, like. So,
is that something that you've been doing for a long time, or is that something that
Not really. I think just kind of during lockdown, I've always liked a nice sunset or whatever.
Oh yeah, of course, everyone likes sunset. Yeah.
But just during lockdown, sure, what else we had? So we just kind of got into it, really, to be honest.
I'd say the only problem is if for a sunrise is actually getting up in the morning. That's the hardest part.
Oh my God, I've done a sunrise swim once. And that was like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever I put up the Instagram of it. And
I've seen it. You had so many alarms going on your phone. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm one of those people though that has to set about 4 alarms in the morning minimum. But I think my first alarm was set for like 4:15 or something, or 4:30, because the sunrise is at about 5:10. So to be down for it, like we had to get up pretty early, but it was worth it. It was really, really worth it. You have to kind of do it on a day that you know it's going to be nice.
Okay. Is there like, do you go to one spot and like the sunrise is deadly at that spot? Do you always go to the same spot?
Not really for the sunrise, because I'm not really up too early for the sunrise. Yeah. But I think we just kind of took a chance, to be honest.
Okay.
We just kind of took a chance. But there is some really nice places. There's like 3 different viewpoints that we go to for the sunset. So,
like to be
about my lockdown.
I personally, I rather watch the sunset, because waking up in the morning is a pain in the ass. I can tell you that. And I work in the morning, so I know the struggle.
Yeah.
But so why go all that trouble just to watch the sunrise? Like, don't get me wrong. Again, I understand it. It's peaceful. It's lovely. But is that part of your training, like is meditation? Just
not really, to be honest. Meditation, yes and no. Sometimes I use it as kind of a tool for when I get nervous and stuff, but I think it was just more so for crack, really, to be honest. Yeah, we were the previous night, it was kind of a nice day, and we were going for a swim anyway, and we were like, sure, look, why don't we get up for the sunrise tomorrow and come down and do the same thing? So that's kind of how that came about. But or anything.
Yeah.
But I do actually go to the lake if I do want to dip my legs in, or if I'm after a hard session or something. I do, like, that's what I've been doing for the last while. I go down and dip the legs in, and then I'll come home and have a warm shower or something. So I actually find that kind of helps me, whether it actually helps me or not, but it helps me. So yeah.
So do you do that often then? How many times in a week would you go and like dip your feet in, or dip your legs into the water?
It depends on what kind of training I've been at, or if I feel my leg really stiff or something, I go down and
like a miserable lactic session or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. That's exactly what you'd need it for. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Nice,
but it's good. It's a nice peaceful spot. Like there's usually a few swimmers down there and whatnot, but yeah, it's nice. It is nice. Yeah.
And it's not cold in the morning, anything like that, is it? No, it's chill.
Freezing. But
it's freezing, is it? Yeah. So are you gonna? So in winter, when it comes to winter time, you're not gonna still. Are you still gonna do it?
Not really. No, I do it the very, very odd time, but I'm usually in Galway during the winter, like Monday to Friday. So that's when our hard sessions are usually during the week. So if I was looking to dip my legs, there isn't really too many places in Galway other than Salt Hill, and when it's dark and miserable out, it's less appealing. So but yeah.
In terms of other kind of recoveries, apart from dipping your legs into the water, let's get the obvious out of the way: nutrition, dehydration, all that stuff. Do you have any other secret?
Not really, I suppose. I kind of do the basics, just like everyone else, the basics over and over again.
Yeah.
Sleep, hydration, nutrition, foam rolling, you know, all the basics really. There's not, I've nothing new to add in that regard, but yeah, just kind of basics like everyone else. Yeah.
So
my sleep, actually, my sleep is one of the biggest thing and biggest things, and hydration as well. I always have to keep reminding myself to drink more water because I just find it annoying. So
yeah, I know.
I have to keep reminding myself.
I know, it's you piss a lot as well, because it's annoying for guys as well. Do you know what I mean? Like now I have a lightning metabolism. Like I would shit after every meal. That's me. I will easily take about 7 or 8 shits a day. I literally, do you know, in that last 10 minutes when I was saying that link, I was sitting here. It was like, what else can I do? Let's just take a shit. It just happens. Yeah. No, but now plus the pee on top of that as well. So I'm probably going about
no, it's important. Like,
yeah.
It's important.
I was talking to Kieran Neville actually a few weeks ago. I did a podcast with Kieran Neville, but unfortunately the footage got corrupted. I don't know how. I know. I got the first I think 20 minutes, so I'm gonna upload that first and then I'll upload yours. But she was talking about recovery as well, and she said she likes to do yoga. She's big into is it yoga? Yeah, yoga, I think she said, yeah.
Okay.
So is that something that you willing to try, or are you?
Yeah, I've done yoga before, and I do the odd like online tutorial kind of thing on YouTube, just kind of I find for my hips especially and my lower back with the hurdles. I find that I kind of do need to stretch my lower back and hips quite a lot. But yoga is brilliant. Yoga is brilliant. I do it the odd time. I should do it more, but
okay.
I
say you need a good amount of flexibility when it comes to hurling, do you?
You kind of do. Like I find I have one leg that's way more flexible than the other. Because when you think about it, like the actual action of the hurdles, one leg is
one's over and one is
and then one comes straight right around. So I have one hip that's way more flexible than the other as well. And I'd say, you know, most hurdlers are probably like that. I try to, you know, keep the flexibility good on both because you don't want to be lopsided. You know, you don't want to be one-sided.
Yeah, but here, you're winning races left and right. So it's working. It's working. Whatever you're doing, it's working. Yeah,
but just even for injury prevention, like it's good to have a balance. So, I try and keep the balance.
Yeah, I have a few friends who's hurdlers as well, and so in terms of so when it comes to hurdle, do you what's in your scenario, in your case, what's the one technique that you find it hard to master?
One technique. I suppose everything. Everything I do, I try and improve on everything, but I think the one thing I find hard to do, or I did find hard to do, like as a younger athlete coming up through the ranks, is kind of getting my trail leg around and down fast enough. Like I was always like my lead leg was fine, and then it took forever for my trail leg to come around. But I've tried to correct that in the last while, and I think it's getting better, but I still have loads of work to do. Like loads of work. Yeah, I don't think for a hurdler your technique is never fully perfect. You always have to keep working on it. Definitely. And as you get faster as well, you know, your technique, you still have to keep working on it, like, you know. So I think probably my trail leg was probably the most difficult thing for my brain to understand.
And so what kind of drill did you have to what kind of drills will help that issue?
Oh, it's hard to explain now.
Because again, I don't do hurdles at all. Not even gonna try them because
they're kind of scary birds.
I'm here, Sarah. I'm 5'5" or 5'4". That thing is like up to my neck. I don't know how Molly does it. I always ask Molly. I don't know how in the hell does she can jump over that thing. Yeah. So I say me and Molly about practically the same height. I think I'm actually kind of the same height as Molly as well. I'd say I'm in around 5'3", 5'4".
maybe.
Oh,
5'4" on a good day, but I'm about 5'3".
I thought you were taller than that. No.
No.
Okay.
Everyone thinks I'm taller. I don't know why. Do I appear taller or something? I don't know.
It's just, I think it's a girls thing. Girls, for some reason, girls appear. No, because guys, you can see obviously, but when it comes to girls, they just look tall, even though we're same height. But anyway, we get off track now.
But for my trail leg, I suppose there's loads of different ones you could do. But I think one of the main ones is I'll have like my two hands up against the wall. I'll be about 3 foot away from the wall, and then
I've seen that.
At my side, and then you just do the motion. And I find actually recording myself doing something and then looking at it before I go doing it again, I really find that helps me, like, to train my brain to alter the motion, if you get me, and to see what I'm doing wrong. Because it's okay someone telling you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, but then
telling you how to fix
it for yourself. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But until you, like, for me, I find until I see what I'm doing wrong, it's an awful lot harder for me to correct. So I find like videoing what I'm doing is quite useful. Yeah.
Would you record yourself a lot when it comes to hurling?
Yeah, I would, especially during lockdown, because obviously I'm away from my main group in Galway. I'm actually I'm in my home house right now in Mayo. And while I was away from my group in Galway and my coach in Galway, I'd be videoing what I'm doing, maybe if it's block starts or whatever, and then I'd send them on to my coach, and then he'd give me feedback, so it was kind of a way of having him there, but not like him not actually being there. So like it's been very beneficial during lockdown, but also I think on a day-to-day basis as well, even if Brendan was there coaching me, it's helpful for me to see it myself.
So how was the quarantine anyway? What kind of stuff were you, apart from the technique that you just said, what other stuff were you working in during lockdown?
During lockdown.
During training.
During lockdown, I moved back home here to Mayo, and I've been working from home for my placement, because I'm still on placement for college. So it was quite a big change. And I didn't have access to a track for the first, I'm going to say like two months maybe. 2 months anyway, because like everyone, tracks are closed.
Just distance,
and nothing you could do about it. So I was training in my local what's called the Green. It's kind of like there's a soccer pitch, a rugby pitch, and like a training pitch. It's about 300 meters long. It's grass, and then there's like a tar track around the outside of it where people would be walking. So, and there's a few hills there as well. So I used to do my sessions on the grass, and then hills on a Sunday or whatever. So it actually worked out pretty well. I was afraid that the ground would be uneven, or I'd put my ankles in jeopardy or something, but it was fine. It was fine. Yeah. I actually kind of enjoyed it, to be honest.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
When you're when I am in Galway, like it's quite easy for me to complain, because there's people to complain to. Oh my god, because when your friends are there, like you're like, oh my god, another rep. But when you're doing it by yourself, I found it was really, really good eye opener to how much discipline I have myself. There's no one there to listen to me complain, so just go on with it.
There you go.
Yeah. So I actually learned a lot about myself, I think, and I can carry it into my group sessions now as well. So it's good.
Yeah. And the weather.
How did you get on for lockdown?
My lockdown, I actually, like, of course, like for other people, it wasn't the best. I have some friends who lost it. One of my best friend, he lost his auntie during lockdown, and
that's awful.
Yeah, but overall for me, I would say it was probably actually the best 2 months ever. I would say.
Yeah.
But
so much extra time and stuff.
Yeah, but I try not to do show myself I'm having such a good time. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
I just want to stay, like actually being in lockdown. Do you know what I mean? Like not just stay indoor, but even with social media as well. Just trying to do. I was actually, that was I was so productive during that 2 months. I've learned a lot in that 2 months, and I was listening to some podcasts, and people were saying that 2 months that we went lockdown, that actually put, in terms of technology, in terms of human behavior, that actually put us 8 months in for the long term forward. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So in terms of,
it does. I think so. Yeah, I think I know what you're on about.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that it's a break that we all needed if you look at it that way, for people to work on
time to breathe.
Personal growth. It was a good time for people to like sit down and think about their business or whatever the plan is for the future as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of way. And training as well has been phenomenal. I actually this year I've improved so much, and I can't wait for competition. Like, I keep.
There's no better feeling like.
Yeah, I just want to get I just want to get my 100-meter time. That's all I.
That's all you want.
That's all I want at the moment. I'm telling you, like, that 11. You're 11.7, yeah.
11.78. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I think? I don't want to be cocky now, but I think I can.
Could you pass me out? Possibly.
No. Actually, do you think we'll go back to lockdown? Or not in lockdown, you say, maybe back a phase?
It's hard to tell. I think we're heading that direction now. Yeah, definitely. But the next week or so will tell us a lot, I think. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping, with the new measures of people having to wear face masks in shopping or in shops and stuff like that, hopefully we slow it down a bit. But yeah, it seems to be rising and rising. I really don't know, to be honest. I'm hoping not, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not going to be upset if it is going that way, as in if we were to go back into lockdown. I think we've done it once, we'll do it again. I think we'll be fine, like. But yeah, it's just a shame because we've put in so much hard work.
Yeah. But I have to say, there's a little bit part of me that wants to go back in lockdown.
Really?
a little bit. Yeah. No, because again,
my lockdown life isn't too much different to my normal life, to be honest.
So, what were you working during the lockdown? No. Well,
yes.
Were you actually? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on placement from college. I'm on placement just over a year now in Ernst & Young, which is an accountancy firm.
Okay.
And I work from home here Monday to Friday, and then I work for my dad in his flower shop at the weekends. So I work about 6 days a week usually. Petals and buds, yeah. How did you know that? That's really funny.
Yeah. How's that shop going, by the way?
Good, yeah, good. Yeah. We're flying
so do you like arrange flowers and put flowers together, or how does that work?
Yeah. I'm salesperson and florist and whatever you want to call me. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's in Mayo, is it?
Yeah.
The shop. Mayo, okay. Yeah. I was actually gonna come to Mayo in the next couple of weeks. I have a friend that lives in Mayo. So I'll drop by.
Do call in.
I will call. I don't know why.
I'll be there every Saturday.
I don't know why I'll go to a flower shop, but like there's a bunch of flowers in my house anyway.
So.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk to you about some mental stuff as well. Okay. So in terms of psychology, so my podcast it evolves around mindfulness, psychology, and sports psychology. So one of the best podcasts I've done actually. So I've done literally, I would say about probably like a good 10 to 15 podcasts altogether.
Yeah.
My favorite one, like I love all of them. Like probably this one's gonna be my favorite. I don't know, but my favorite of all of them would be the one I did with Jessie Barr, because she's.
Oh yeah, I watched that. She was brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a sports psychologist. So like she was the perfect person to have on the podcast. Yeah. So I've learned a lot from her as well. And one question I've asked her, it was what's one thing that most athletes struggle? No. Oh yeah, what's one thing you find it hard to teach athletes? And she said that athletes don't acknowledge their strengths. So in your case, Sarah, what do you think your biggest strength is when it comes to athletics? Oh, sorry, just in general, actually. Forget about athletics, just as a human being. In general, yeah.
I'm not actually sure.
We got low. Well, you're probably gonna have to go and watch the sunset in a few minutes, so you better hurry up.
Yeah. My biggest strength.
Are you actually gonna go? By the way, no. Are you gonna go outside today?
Am I going to go today?
Yeah.
I don't actually know. Doesn't say until about 10 o'clock. So all G yet.
It's a good weather outside. I'm not gonna lie. It's sunny. Yeah. So anyway,
there has to be a few clouds as well for the light to like reflect off, and that's where you get like a pink sky. It's quite nice. But
Anyway, yeah. Back to the thing.
I would probably say things that I think I'm strongest at would probably be dedication, understanding,
understanding as in how?
As in, I would say I'm probably accepting of situations I'm in. Let's say if I'm injured, I'm very self-aware.
So
I'll be able to. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say accountability.
Accountability, yeah, that's probably a better word for it. Yeah, they're probably my strengths as an athlete. I suppose as a person, I would like to think that, when I'm finished the sport, people will remember me for being nice.
Be selfish, be egotistic, just be yourself for now. Yeah. Just say, no, seriously, that's
I would
why.
like to think that I'm kind.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, okay. I can see that.
I would like to be remembered for not just my sporting achievements. Hopefully there will be great achievements in the future, but I'd like to be remembered as, a nice person. And I think I would like to think I am. Yeah, God, I don't know, really. That's a really tough question. A really tough question. Let me think about that one for a minute.
Yeah, no worries. But I agree with you on the nice one, though. Again, I thought I had completely a different picture in my head when I first saw you.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that about me. They also think I'm taller than I am, which is another funny thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to think I am confident in my abilities. I'd like to think I am a nice person. But others would be the judge of that, I suppose. And I think I'm very self-aware. And I have a good understanding of emotional intelligence, I think. So yeah, they're probably my biggest strengths, and I'm very dedicated to what I want to do. If I have something in my head, I will not stop until I have it.
But when it comes to self-aware, how do you go about? Do you have a routine? Do you write stuff down? Do you have a journal? Do you have a training log? Do you?
Yeah, so like I do write down my feedback from training in a journal, but I write down some of my thoughts. I write down some of my thoughts when I'm in a bad headspace, when I'm in a good headspace. I write myself things to remember for when I think I'm going to be, like I have points written down to remember when I'm injured. I have, all these different things. They're very personal to me as an athlete, and I think if you looked at points to remember when you're injured, for me and for you, they're going to be completely different.
Absolutely, yeah.
Apart from the obvious, but I think just little techniques like that help me become more self-aware, and it's just through practice, really. Like, I used to suffer an awful lot with pre-race nerves. And I think the more training I did, obviously, and the more prepared I was for a race, the less nervous I was. But there was always those little bits of self-doubt, and you have to train yourself to be able to swap those negative thoughts with positive ones.
How would you train that?
How would I which?
How would you train that?
I don't know.
Let's say your first season opener, you get a brilliant time, you qualify for the I don't know, Europeans, or even better, let's say you qualify for the Olympics next year. So yeah. How would you differ the Olympics from irregular, I don't know, just a outdoor race?
How would I differentiate between the two?
Yeah, in terms of preparation, like mentally wise.
I think like I am such a creature of habit, and I take comfort from routine, so I don't tend to deviate from doing the same thing. I do the same warm up, the same, like I usually eat the same meals the week leading up to a race. I do the same things, so that by the time I get to the start line, I know that I've prepared and done every single thing right, within my control, obviously. But I've done everything that I should have, and that puts me at ease. But yeah, if I was to do a race in Tullamore, if I was to do a race in a different country, if I was to do a major championship or just an open race somewhere else, the preparation would be the same. And I think actually a funny thing, last year when I went to the Under-23 European Championships, I kind of thought, like, obviously this is my first major championship, and I thought I would be absolutely crippled with nerves, but I wasn't, because I was the new kid on the block. No one really cared. Do you know what I mean? But the only pressure that I would have felt would have been pressure I would have put on myself, and sure, there's no point in doing that, because like that would just affect your performance. And once you realize that having these bad thoughts, the only one it's going to affect is yourself, it's a lot easier to say, you know, good luck, you know, don't think about those things, think about the good things, focus on the good things, because at the end of the day, it will affect your performance if you let it, and it's completely up to you whether it does or not. You are in control of your thoughts, whether you think you are or not. I believe I'm in control of my own thoughts. You know, no one else can plant that negativity in my head. I'm going to be able to push it out, you know. So I suppose that's kind of one thing I do think about. And it just kind of happens by autopilot sometimes as well. The more I do it, yeah, the more I do it, the more capable you are of doing it. And then once you reap the rewards of being able to like put those negative thoughts away, it's a lot easier to do it again. Yeah.
Now, as I've just said, the flow state. Have you ever? I'm sure you've heard about that before, haven't you?
Flow state. No, maybe not.
Really?
Probably not. No. Maybe I have. Go on.
Okay, maybe there's another word. In the zone. Like,
you know, getting into the zone, yeah.
Yeah, it's more than just a zone. It's a flow state,
mindset.
Sarah. No, it's okay.
Like,
okay, all right, okay. So the flow state, it's basically, so that's what me and Jesse were talking about in that podcast. This is where just everything.
Yes. Yeah, I do know what you're on about now.
This is where everything goes to plan without you thinking about different stuff. So, and I would say when you won the 60 meter indoor, the under 23 and the senior, would you say you were in that mental state of relaxation, not worrying, not thinking about anything? I'm presuming. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe, because things were going to plan. I was training well, I was sleeping well, I was, you know, everything was good. Yeah, I felt good. I thought to myself, there's no reason why. There's absolutely no reason why I can't do this. So I kind of got into my mindset or my headspace before a race, just like I usually do. And then one thing led to another. I was up at the start line, focused on my end goal, and that was it. So yeah, I suppose the more things go right, the less I have to think about it.
Say that again.
So just that last bit. You just the more. I can't remember. Say that again. The more the things go right, the less I have to think about them going right.
Okay. Yeah.
You get me? I find anyway, but it's different for everyone.
Yeah. So when it comes to racing, is there anything you keep asking yourself? Not just racing, just as an athlete overall. Do you have that one question you kept repeating, you kept asking yourself?
I suppose the one question athletes should be asking themselves is like, you know, what can I do to improve? There's always something you can do to improve. And that's what I'd be mostly focused on most of the time, is how can I improve next time? How can I improve? How can I get better? That'd be one of the main questions I'd be asking myself. But I can't really think of anything else. Maybe why? Why am I here?
Do you know what? Exactly. I was expecting something. That's what Aoife. I did a podcast with Aoife last year, and that's exactly what she said. Why do I do this? Why do I put myself into this torture?
I know. I think every athlete asks themselves that at some point.
Yeah, coming back to that point about the one question that you ask yourself and the self-awareness as well. One thing, I don't know if you're willing to try this technique. It's one technique that I've been doing a lot. Actually, now I've been doing loads, like more than I should have maybe. Right, so this is where you're going to ask your best mates and your coach, someone that you're close to, right?
Yeah.
I ask them, what's my strength and what's my weakness? So basically, it's something that you wouldn't ask a stranger or someone that you're not really close with. So basically, the answer will be different from time to time.
Yeah.
So so like I want to ask that question every single week. It's more like maybe a bit of time in between.
Yeah.
And what I found, the answer are like something that you realize you are good at or bad at. It's actually the opposite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought my biggest problem, one confession that I have, my biggest problem as an athlete, so not just an athlete, just a human being, I happen to self-doubt a lot, and that's what they say. But in my head, I'm curious in everything. Like I just want to basically learn more. But it comes across to self-doubt to other people because I keep questioning myself. And for me, in my head, I'm just trying to improve myself. But to other people, it's self-doubt. Does that make sense? Now, now that means sometime they're not going to be 100% correct. Do you get me? Because they're perceiving that situation in their own way. Do you get me?
Yeah. I get you.
So for example, I haven't met, like, I don't know you that well for me to tell you what's your strength and what's your weakness. I can say what your strength is 100%. You want, like, everything that you just said, your determination, your kindness, and all that. Yeah. But actually, you know what? You can tell me, what do you think your weakness is?
My weakness, I suppose, areas to improve might be a better word, maybe. I don't dwell on my weaknesses too much, so I tend to dwell on the strengths. You know, you need to.
But that's good. Yeah, I know. But
weaknesses. Oh, maybe I could be better at communication with my coach. Maybe. My weakness before I started training with the group at Galway would have been like my aerobic capacity was nada, like non-existent. Like,
that's me at the moment. You ask anybody in Salbridge, they're gonna 100% agree with you. Here, tell you what, Sarah, I cannot finish my warm-up lap. That's how bad it is. No.
Oh, sure. Look, like short sprinters,
But go on. You were telling me about your aerobic.
So that was definitely an area I really needed to work on. And I've developed on that over the past 3 years, but there's definitely a lot more to do. And I suppose that would probably be my weakness. And hopefully it'll turn into a strength soon enough. But I think my weakness when I came to college as well would have been mentally I wasn't as strong. I didn't have as much confidence as I do now in my abilities. But I think that all comes with, you know, showing up and getting it done. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you keep putting the hard work in, your confidence is going to go up because your ability is going to go up, you know. So it's kind of twofold. But my confidence and my self-awareness and all that would have been my weakness before. So yeah, that's it.
Actually, there's one thing I've been meaning to tell you, because I was reading this article online yesterday, and they were saying when you won the 60 meter when you won the 60 meter indoor anyway, Derval, I don't know. Correct me if I don't know how to pronounce her name. Derval, start with a D.
Derval O'Rourke.
Yeah, she sent you a text, didn't she?
She did, yeah. She sent me a message on Instagram
Did you expect that, or it's just something out of the blue?
Not really, no. Like, it was a nice surprise, I suppose. But I think from her perspective, you know, when I'm retired out of the sport in however many years that might be, I would like to think that I'd be looking at who's winning the senior titles.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was a nice touch from her, and obviously she's a huge inspiration for me, obviously, as an athlete. And I think it's very important to have someone like that you can draw inspiration from. She's super athlete, super person, and I think it's quite important to look up to your heroes. Yeah, definitely.
So she's one of your heroes, huh?
She's fantastic. Have you looked up any of her races or anything? No, you should. She's a national record holder.
I can't even pronounce her name, Sarah.
But you should actually look her up.
Yeah, I will. Well, I wasn't efficient with my research, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll do a better job. That's one of my weakness, I guess. But yeah. But now when it comes to, as you said, you had someone to look up to. But in terms of for the young ones, do you see anybody under 20s or even younger? Do you see any upcoming, like, a genuine good athlete
coming up through the ranks?
Yeah.
I think at the moment we have such a strong field of female hurdlers in Ireland, and female sprinters. Obviously, we have fantastic sprinters. But I don't particularly pay too much attention to the kind of younger athletes yet. But like that's just me focusing on my own race and whatnot. Yeah. But no, we have fantastic athletes in Ireland at the minute. And I suppose I kind of look up to the ones that are thereabouts, you know, at the starting line with me. You know, there's a lot of traits that you could draw from your competitors as well. You know, the focus of one, the blocks of another, or, you know, there's always little things you can pick up on from everyone around you. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't pay too particular attention yet, but you know, because I'm very much in my own zone at the minute.
I getcha. Because what there is. Yeah, because the point I was trying to get across is there will be someone from the under 20s or that will do the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that will
absolutely.
Come up to you and say the same thing. But that's good though. Like, to have someone, like to have somebody to look up to you, and it's such a good feeling.
From inspirations from when I was growing up, I took a lot of inspiration from family members, and this, like, not necessarily people from our sport. Obviously, I looked up to the likes of Derval O'Rourke and all the other girls in my field, a lot of which I'm still competing against. And then my family members, like, my parents always encouraged me. I have a twin. I have a twin and two older brothers, and they were all involved in football as we were growing up. And I was kind of always the one that was involved in athletics. And my granny and granddad actually always encouraged us to, you know, do the best we could. And they used to bring us to open sports days and stuff, which was great. But I remember when I first started getting into athletics, when I was about, I don't know, 6 or 7, doing the local community games. You know how a lot of people start out that way.
Yeah.
I got through to the All-Ireland final in Mosney, so he kind of took me under his wing then and did a few training sessions with me. And he's always kind of encouraged me. Sadly, they're not with me anymore. My granny actually passed away during lockdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But but they've always been a great source of encouragement, and obviously my whole family has. And I used to take a lot of inspiration from my brothers. Like, they were so dedicated to football and, you know, any sport that they were ever involved in. And it really, I know this whole women in sport and, you know, keeping younger girls in the sport, I really found that it helped me, you know, make it normal, that, you know, it was normal for me to keep in the sport. It was normal for me to progress through the ranks just like they were doing, you know. And I think that was very important in my development as an athlete. You know, progressing with my sport was very normal. It was very, it was a normal thing for me to do where it mightn't be for others. So yeah, that was they're kind of people I would draw inspiration from, as well as, teammates and whatnot. We've a fabulous group of runners in Galway, and, we come from all backgrounds. We have masters athletes, we have, juvenile athletes, we have a lot of athletes from college, and we also have Alex Lee, Ireland's first blade runner. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've a big group of supporters around me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, to be at a level, I'm talking about an elite level, do you think you have to surround yourself with these kind of people?
Absolutely. I fully believe that you are the people you surround yourself with. This, like, namely the top 5 people you surround yourself with. You can't help but be your surroundings. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that are supportive or like-minded, or they're trying to achieve their potential as well, you can't help but be in that headspace and want to do it as well. So I think that's quite important, for an elite athlete to have that right support system around them, whether it's just friends that understand that the path they've chosen, or it's family members, supporting them, or whatever it is. I think training partners are also a very big aspect of it, and it is for me. Like, I have a group of girls in Galway, and obviously there's lads there as well, but we're all very supportive of each other, and it's very much a team atmosphere. And I know that's what Brendan tries to promote as well, and he's very good at it. Like, he's very good at, we're all a team, and I think that makes it a lot easier for when things aren't going so well. You can lean on everyone else around you. So
yeah. I want to go in the opposite direction for a second. It's just something that pops into my head.
Yeah.
I like what you said. I agree with you. It's fine. Like, everything you said, brilliant. But I also feel like, do you, like, to be an elite level, do you need like to have, like, what happens when your friends, your coaches are not there? What happens then? There's no good people around you.
Well, you have to be self-sufficient as well. That's a very important part of being an elite athlete too. It's great that you, like for me, I have a great support system around me, and I think if that was taken away from me, let's say the training group, obviously we've all been we've all been sent home to our own home houses for lockdown. Like, we've had to make do, we've had to push through, and we've had to rely on ourselves. So
yeah, that's
I think
one.
It can work both ways, but I do find it's a lot easier when you have people, I think. But
okay, fair enough.
It's possible. It is possible, definitely, yeah. And we've all had to try and do it in the last while.
Again, I agree with what you said, but the point I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to get across was, take example, during the lockdown, we couldn't see our mates. So I think during that lockdown really shows us who's going to make it as an elite athlete and who's going to just be a regular athlete. Because as you said, you told me you had that determination skill in you. So like lockdown didn't stop you from training. Having no teammates around you from training. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Again, I agree with you what you said, but my point is to be like, I believe to get to a level, like I'm talking about the highest, like reaching your max potential. It's something that has to come within rather than hanging on to teammates and stuff like that.
Everyone else, no, I get what you're saying as well. I do. And it's probably it is essential, but you don't have, well, like for me, I don't have to rely on myself too much when there is a group, as in,
of course,
you show up and you're able to enjoy yourself a lot more. Than I find, and it's a lot easier to stick with something if you're enjoying yourself. So,
but here's the catch part though: you sleep on a win and you wake up with a loss. That's one of the number one thing I'm always gonna stick with me. That always stays in my head. No, it happens to me all the time, but it's one thing that I think that's one of my weaknesses as well, is to actually like comprehend and utilizing that skill.
Keep going.
Just keep going, and don't like, take a day off, whatever, refueling or whatever, but go back into it. But anyway, what I was going to say next is about athletics overall, like the sport itself. So I'm just going to go back to that point that you made earlier, that we made earlier about the younger ones. So do you think athletics is on its verge of growing up sport in Ireland? Because Gaelic, football, rugby, these are the main sports, gets the popularity, gets the views on TV and all that. So do you think athletics as a sport is on the verge of growing up?
I would like to think so. I definitely think that there's been a lot of growing up in the last couple of years, but like everything, there's always areas to improve on. But just me, from a personal perspective, in Mayo, football is massive. Like, it is massive. And that would be kind of the main sport that's talked about, as well as, you know, maybe rugby a bit and, you know, a few other things like that. But I definitely think in the last couple of years that there's been more awareness for athletics, and I think the more success that athletics has, the more publicity it will get, and it'll all keep going around in a circle like that, you know.
But in terms of, sorry, go on.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, I was just saying, in terms of, as you said, in terms of success, what kind of success we're talking about? We're talking about athletes like competing for Olympics and stuff like that. Is that the success you're talking about?
I would say both national and international, because I would say, let's say where I'm from, the more success I've had on the national stage, the more it's been talked about, the more athletics gets exposure. And it's the same with, you know, let's say Michaela Walsh is a very good shot putter. You know, we've a lot of very good throwers in Ballinrobe, and I think the more that all of those people win, the more publicity it's going to get in, you know, the local newspapers, and it's a tumbleweed effect, really, you know. And people actually do care when they see you succeeding. They do actually care. So
but why? No, I was going to say, why does it have to get to that point though? Why win and then you get all the fame?
Because I think that's just where we're at the minute. I think that's just where we're at.
Because I had this conversation 2 days ago with my friend, and that's why I want to talk about it and see her opinion.
Yeah.
I think, like, I just don't like how someone has to make it in order to get the popularity. It is a great sport. I used to play football, and I quit football and focused on athletics. And I really want, and it is, don't get me wrong, athletics is a huge sport, but I think we as an athlete can make it even bigger.
Even bigger, yeah.
So I have a few ideas in my head, but I just want to hear your idea first. So is there anything that we athletes can do, apart from winning, obviously,
I think just more exposure. Keep talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more people see something happening, like, I know, let's say, give lockdown as an example. I do most of my training in Galway, and I train on the track in Claremorris then sometimes at the weekends. But like, during lockdown, I was training in the green, and more people were able to see me, you know, more local people that would have known me. And it was really nice to be able to see other people, you know, getting out and going for a run and doing whatever they're doing. And it was nice to be able to see people that I knew doing it, you know. So I think the more that you're seen to be doing it, the better, if you get me. Maybe that's something small. Because I did find that, you know, if you bring something to life in front of people's eyes, they're more likely to pay attention.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you.